Hello and welcome everyone to the $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. We are here at the Winter Equestrian Festival for week 11. One more week to go. I'm your host, Danny Waldman. I'm thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. And we are getting ready for number 11 of the WEF Challenge Cups. There are 51 horse rider entries coming on up. And of course, thanks to this week's title sponsor, IDA Development, their week 11 sponsor here. And of course, today's class sponsor is Adequan, American Region Animal Health, maker of Adequan polysulfated glycosaminoglycan, is proud to sponsor today's $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. For over 30 years, Adequan has been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners. Visit Adequan.com to learn more. And of course, thanks to Dodd Technologies presenting our live stream all season long here. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. And today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. So we are getting ready for the class here. Weather is holding at the moment. However, the radar looks terrible. It's coming. It's looking like we're going to have a lot of rain. But let's take a look at the start list. Bliss Heers will get us started off. Carl Cook and Caracol de la Roque, the horse he rode in the Nations Cup a couple of weeks back. Then Germany's Kendra Clarissa Brinkhope, who's been making big waves here in Wellington since she arrived recently. A couple weeks ago, we'll move on. Margie Goldstein's there. Jordan Coyle, who's also been on a fire recently. Niall Nasser, he's sitting on Ivory TCS. He won a class last week on that horse. Elise Oken and Forrestal. You can see Pio Giorgio Bucci coming up. Eduardo Pereira de Meneses. Chloe Reed's just back from Ocala. She's sitting on crossover for that super careful animal of hers that everybody loves. Vanessa Mannix making her way over from California. Nina Malave sitting on Cartier, the horse she was on the podium in the 4-star a couple weeks back in the Grand Prix. Nicholas Della Gioio's making an appearance. We've got Emily Conter, Sloan Coles on Ninja. Ninja's been jumping beautifully recently. Jessica Springsteen on Cayman du Poteau. He's been actually a new horse for her that she's just bringing up to this higher level. Eliza Lehrman. Lily Keenan's coming up on Agana Van Het Garendal, and Lily's been doing great on that longtime partner of hers. Amanda Derbyshire's coming back out on Cornwall. And Tyza Erwin on High Star Hero, that powerhouse of hers. And Karen Poley and Jet Run to round out, with Carlos Hencarero finishing in 50th. So we're going to see 50 horse rider combinations. And yeah, we will get underway shortly. We're about 2 minutes out. Courses, of course, set by Andy Christensen all week long here. And I will take you guys through the course as soon as that first one is in. Long course, a lot of jumps out in the ring, typical of Andy Christensen courses that we see. Lots of obstacles out there, and 13 numbered obstacles, but we've got 3 doubles, no triple out there. And it sounds like the first one is making their way up to the gate from the warm-up arena. Again, 50 horse rider combinations. Weather is holding at the moment. It is about 72, 73 degrees local Fahrenheit, and it is just before the top of the hour, 8 a.m. Getting us started for the 4-star main competition of the day. Trying to get it in before the rain. That's why it's moved up till 8 o'clock and not later. But it is about to get underway, and there you can see our first one making her way in. And it is going to be first one up is going to be Bliss Heers. She's sitting on the Bridgeside Farms LLC entry, Quality Star Z. 11-year-old Zangerside of Gelding by Quality Time with the Cash Mother. All right. So 11 years old. Bliss had a beautiful round yesterday in the speed on a different horse, but she is going to get us started underway. Time allowed is 77 seconds for today's round. So long enough, but not over that 80-second mark. And hopefully we'll get as many in before the rain as we can. All right, bell is sounded for her, and she is off. First jump off the right, it'll come past the in gate, and then it will go away from the gate across the diagonal. Starts at a black and white vertical, and there you can see it. Let's see what she does. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Steady in the 8. Then a little bit off your eye, up to the vertical on the end, and then it's going to be a left-hand turn back on the wall. So we've seen the wall coming up quite early in a lot of these courses. She does 9 coming in there, the double. Steadies up to that last oxer. You can see the horse really kick out behind. Now right-hand turn. The offset Liverpool at the Lugano Diamonds vertical. I think she does 8 in there. Steady 2. Very steady in the 4. To the blue skinny with the little white plank at the bottom. Now right-handed turn around the palm tree. Coming down this last long line. She does 5 into the double verticals. We may see some 6s. I think she stays out in the 9. Stays out in the 7, and unfortunately gets a little bit short and picks up the front pole there at the last, which is also a Liverpool. So she'll finish up in 77.07. So she's just 0.07 of a second over that time allowed, but with 2 on the course, 8 jumping, 1 time, and finishing up with 9 vaults to get us started here today. All right, we're going to move on to USA's Carl Cook. He's sitting on Signe Otsby's Caracal de la Roque, 12-year-old mare by Zandor with the Cannon Mother. All right, this is the horse that Carl rode on the Nations Cup team a couple of weeks back here at week 8, and he's bringing her out here for this 4-star. Let's see what she does. He could be super fast on her. Does the nice 8. Very, very careful horse, this. Not too big, but very powerful. Jumped the World Games with Julien Epayard for France before Carl took over the ride. Does the nice 6. And as you can see, Carl has the horse in a hackamore, so she doesn't have a bit in her mouth. Steadies up in the 8, short in the 2 there. Just has the front pole. That 2 is very short with the short 4 coming after it. And again, with Andy Christensen, that's what we've seen a little bit. Singles opening up early on and then steady through the middle. He opts to do the 5 there. Walked a little bit long in that 5. So we will see what everyone chooses to do. I will say, though, nice shot to the last. I will say it's looking like quite a smooth round there for Carl and Caracal de la Roque. They'll pick up just that 1 fault, 4 faults. 73.37 is the time to get us started. So well within that time allowed of 77 seconds. So I have a feeling with that time, they will probably not make any adjustments to it, but they, of course, have till the 3rd rider, after the 3rd rider, to make a change if they want, but I don't think that they will. All right, we're going to move on to the German lady who's been making big waves here in Wellington since she arrived a couple of weeks ago. Been tremendous on the podium numerous times, and it's Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff. 97th ranked rider in the world, and she's sitting on Nectar van de Bischkop. The 11-year-old Belgian-bred stallion, owned by StuffX Stables and STX Scuderia 1918, capital SRL. This horse by Echo with a Darko mother. It's a beautiful jumper. She keeps moving there. Does one less into the double. Beautiful shot there. Little bit kept coming out of the turn there. Gets a little bit low there. You can see just a light touch at the Liverpool. And she's thinking about that time allowed, certainly on the move. But now comes up the delicate part of these double verticals. You can see she lands, really wants to get up that 5 to the double verticals. Shifts a little bit through it. Doesn't jump it perfectly square, but clears it. And keeps moving to the last. And well within that time allowed. And that'll be our first clear. Well done, Kendra. 71.42 is that time. So third in the order and first clear. Fault-free effort. Like I said, Kendra's been making big waves since she arrived here, and that's because she's riding great and horses are jumping great. That'll do it. All right, we're going to move on to the woman who was the big winner of the 5-star Grand Prix a couple weeks ago here. And of course, it is Brazil's Luciana Locio and Lady Louise Jimen. Owned and ridden by Luciana, 14-year-old mare by Londario Jimen with the Jalisco mother. They were absolutely spectacular to win the 5-star Grand Prix. It was their first 5-star Grand Prix together, and they won it. She was absolutely ecstatic, and it was a tremendous performance. It was a very difficult class. Only 5 had gone clear. And she topped everybody in that speedy jump off. A little bit long there. You can see the horse makes a good effort to try to get across it, but she was just a little bit far off. The Adequan ox are coming into that double. Sets that up well. Gets a little bit close with the hind end coming in. Then you can see she really sets up and sits up early to try to get that 4 done. She does that well. Horse covers the ground really well. Jumps through that double vertical. It's a little bit close at B, light rub. Luckily that one stays up. And again, of course, today is the qualifier for Sunday's 4-star Grand Prix, so everyone thinking about that as well. She will pick up just that 1 fault coming into the double, time 71.44, and 4 faults for Luciana Locio and Lady Louise. All right, Todd Minikis making an appearance after a little bit of a break. He had an injury to his ribs, but he's back. And Todd Minikis is sitting on Kiekabo Spirit, the 9-year-old gelding by Darius, owned by the Spirit Group. And early on in season, this horse was doing really well. Again, only 9 years of age, but was putting in some tremendous results until Todd ended up having to take a little pause, having due to a couple broken ribs. But he's back now, looking strong as ever. And again, this is not an experienced horse, only 9 years old. Today's class, I think, is set at 150. Spec'd at 150. I believe there might even be a couple of jumps at 155. So 4-star jumping here in Wellington. Always built to the max. Jumps through that double beautifully. Really sets that up well. Honestly, this horse had done quite a lot early on in season, and looks like the break for the horse actually worked out well, because now it's coming back looking solid as ever. Jumps through that very, very scopy horse. Don't know if I'd say it's the prettiest, but it is certainly a good one. Oh, what a shame there. Have the front pole down at the end at number 13. Time was 77.42. They will pick up one time fault as well, so a total for 5 on the course for Todd Minikis and Kikabo Spirit. That'll put them into 4th at the moment. All right, now we're going to move on to Canada's Mario Delorier and his Tokyo Olympic mount, Bartolina 2, 15-year-old mare, owned by Mario Delorier himself, as well as Wishing Well Farm, LLC. This horse is by Clarimo with the Landos mother. Of course, this is a very famous horse and jumped the World Championships as a 9-year-old in Tryon. And, of course, jumped the Olympics in Tokyo for Mario. He was the only Canadian representative there. And this has just been a tremendous partnership for many, many years. Horse has a big, big gallop. Very typical of the Clarimos. And let's see what Mario does today. We're sitting on the one clear so far. Nice in the 6th there. You can see this horse always shifting a little bit. Mario just thinking about the straightness. Has a lot of blood, really takes him to the jump, so it's all about controlling that energy. Steadies up, like I said, has a very big gallop, but really a tremendous jumper. Real push off the ground. You can see that the horse really sets herself. She's jumping beautifully here. Mostly everybody choosing to do the 5 there. Again, talked to a couple people who thought that they might do 6 into that double verticals, but majority I think we're going to see do 5. And clears the last well within that time, 75.43. And that will assure us of a jump off. So 2 clear now on the list for this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, week 11. Here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. All right, now we're going to move on to a lady who has hundreds of Grand Prix wins to her name. The one and only Margie Goldstein-Angle for the USM. She's sitting on Jack of Hearts. It's the 12-year-old gelding that she's been doing very, very well on. Had a great round yesterday. Jack of Hearts is owned by Glade Winds Partners, LLC. This horse is by Heartbeat, which is a Heartbreaker son out of Denmark. Of course, Heartbeat had jumped a bunch of Grand Prix. A little bit less blood, you'd say, than Heartbreaker himself, but obviously producing very good animals. And this horse, Jack of Hearts, has been really great for Margie all season. She had a great round out in one of the 150s out on the field. Really uphill balance. Looks fun and nice and simple to ride. Good jumper. Nice shot there in the 6. 6 walked a little bit up, but it's actually not riding that way, particularly because of the vertical coming out of the double. When you have a vertical out of a double, they land further away. So anytime you see an oxer coming out, like in this case, they land a little bit shallower, which helps this short 4. And whereas on the other side, the vertical coming out of the double helps the longer 6. Can see her move up for the 5. And a little bit, that's why A comes down. Unlike some of the other ones we've seen, she really had to move up there. And then you can see her thinking about trying to be as quick as she can. Gets over the last, but she will pick up that 4 fault. 74.08 is Margie's time. So just that late rail coming into the double verticals. As you can see, she really just had to move up in that 5. And just got a little bit flat and quick coming on in. All right, now we're going to take a look at USA's Kathleen Driscoll, 64th ranked rider in the world, 30 years of age. And she is sitting on the Plain Bay Farm entry, Casaletto. It's a 10-year-old gelding by Cascadello with the Clinton mother. This is a really scopy horse. I've watched it all season long. Really powerhouse animal. Big gallop. It's just been working on trying to find that rideability and a little bit of the adjustability. It has a really big gallop. That can make placement at the jumps a little bit harder. You have to have a lot of forethought with horses. The bigger the stride, the more forethought you really need to have. It's not just about making a plan, but it's also about really paying attention to placement to give the horse the time to jump the jumps. Gets a little bit slow there, but gets over the wall, then lands, picks it up. Like I said, really scopy horse this. Steadies up. It's one of those things, you need to make sure that you stay within that time allowed, so you need to be quick about your track, but you want to take the time at the jump. This horse needs a little bit of extra time. And she's doing a really good job using her upper body, letting the horse jump away from the jumps, not trying to make the jump quicker, but just trying to be quick in between the jumps. Good tight turn there, back to that. That was very cleverly ridden. And now has to set this up. A little bit of a rub coming in. Great reaction coming out. Jump much higher coming out. And then she sets this up. Big jump. And gets over the last. And stays just within that time allowed. 76.67 on the clear for Kathleen Driscoll and Casaletto. So that'll bring us up to 3 on the good list at the moment. And 3 clears so far. And now we're going to move over to Mexico with Enrique Gonzalez and Origi Van de Zeshoek. This is a horse owned and ridden by Enrique himself. 10-year-old gelding by Marius Claudius with the Eldorado mother. It's a really well-bred horse. Marius Claudius won a lot of big Grand Prix with Harvey Smith in the UK. And he only bred really later in life, but he's given some really, really good horses. And then, of course, Eldorado on the mother's side of this horse. Huge scope. We like to breed with him a lot. People really love him. Just tremendous scope. And you can make the horses really big. And as you can see, this is not a tremendously big horse, but it's certainly not a small one. He's looking good so far. Jinxed him. Has A coming into that double, and then has the skinny coming out of the line as well. Just jumping a little bit belly low at those verticals. There, takes his eye off it a little bit. You can see Enrique really needs to put his leg back on, make sure to show where the horse is going, and then again has the vertical down just a little bit crooked in that line because of what happened through the turn. As you can see, what happened at A of the double verticals is all really related to that turn, and then shifting a little bit to the last as well. Jumps up high but lands a little bit shallow on the back, so he will pick up 4 down on the course. 16 faults, 74.32 is their time. So looking like the time allowed is plenty fair at 77 seconds. We've seen a couple over that time allowed, but those have been particularly slow. All right, now we're going to take a look at the young 19-year-old from California, USA, Stellar Wasserman. And Stella is sitting on her own entry, Play. It's 12-year-old gelding by Louis Dam with the Diamante Semele mother. This was a horse formerly ridden by Jessica Mendoza up to the 5-star level last season here, and then Stella took over the ride. Just gets there a little bit early, has the front pole of number 2. You can see really uses her upper body there well at the vertical to sit up, let the horse jump up to her. Big push here. It's a really scopy horse. Jumps that well. little bit of a rub on the back legs there over the Liverpool. Luckily, she sort of hit it on the top of the pole, so it didn't roll. This horse has a little bit of a unique jumping style. Kind of keeps his head and neck a little bit in as he jumps. And then jumps up there, but lands a little bit shallow coming in. And has the B of that double verticals as well. And they're looking like she's giving him nice space in front, but just not quite covering the back pole. Then has the last one down as well. So that'll be a score of 20 for Stella Wasserman. 75.98 is their time. All right, now we are moving over to Ireland with the rider who has been on fire recently, doing tremendously well. Won a big class a week ago, and it's Ireland's Jordan Coyle. 31-year-old rider, ranked 76th in the world. He's sitting on the Elon Farm entry, King Cannon GP. Just a 9-year-old gelding, Dutch-bred horse by Cannon with the Warrant mother. So, what's the thing we know about Cannons? They tend to develop a little bit late, so this horse is only 9 years old. So let's take a look and see where they're at with their development. But with a rider like Jordan Coyle, they're going to have every chance in the world to be a top sport horse. And as you can see, he's got his raincoat on. They know the weather's coming. Luckily, it's holding off a little bit at the moment. Jordan opting for a drop noseband, no martingale, so very simple with the tack. And the thing about drop nosebands is that they put a little bit pressure lower down, but they actually tend to be a little bit looser than sometimes a straight cavesson. So just helps guide the nose a little bit to the side if the horse maybe doesn't want to turn so well. You'll see it a lot. Martin Fuchs uses a drop noseband quite often. It's not such an American thing. We see it more in Europe, actually. Takes the first one out of the corner there. Gets a little bit lucky through those double verticals. You can see the horse make a good effort, athleticism, just to try to get through there. Oh, and there, just didn't quite get across the back. Otherwise, it would have been a perfect round. But he has the penultimate fence down, 4 faults, 76.02. So just within that time allowed. But has the second to last jump down. So unfortunately, we'll keep them out of what is a current 3-horse jump off. All right, moving on to Egypt's Nile Nasser, 39th ranked rider in the world, 33 years of age, and he is sitting on the horse that he won a 1.50 m speed on just last week. It's the Evergate Stables LLC entry, as well as Niles himself. Ivory TCS. 11-year-old mare, Dutch-bred horse by Finalizing the List with the Ducato mother. Former ride of Daniel Coyle. He won the 4-star Grand Prix last year down here on this horse. And then Niall took over the ride. We start to see a bit more Finalizing the List in the sport at the moment. Children are still pretty young, so hard to say sort of what qualities we really see out of Finalizing the List. But of course, out of that famous breeding farm, the Demuse stud in Belgium, owned by Joris de Brabander. But this horse, super careful, really sporty, and tremendously fast. You could see Niall there. Add a little bit of leg to get through that double. Helped actually because the horse landed shallow. That actually helped the 4-stride to the skinny. So he was actually not having to balance at all. Just had nice space. This partnership has really come together great. I think this mare jumps beautifully for Niall. Jumped great for Daniel as well, but I like it. It looks loose with Nile, and it's they've really had a lot of clear rounds recently. So great partnership. And as you can see, onto the good list, 75.64. And Ivory TCS and Nile Nasser will add their name to our jump-off list. We're at 4 now, which will be coming back at the end. Again, 50 to see in this first round. We've seen about 13 go so far. All right, now we're going to take a look at USA's Elise Oken, 32-year-old rider, and she is sitting on the High Hopes Farm LLC entry Forestall. It's a 10-year-old gelding by Don Diarardo with the Allegretto mother. Riding with Marcus and Meredith Bierbaum, Elise represented the U.S. on the League of Nations Cup team in Abu Dhabi earlier in the season. And now she's back here. She jumped a beautiful round in the 5-star Grand Prix week 9. She had just a time fault or two, and otherwise it was a beautiful jumping round on her other horse. Jumps a big jump there at the wall, really jumped up and around it. Back pole of that double coming down. Horse jumped up. It is, you can see it's jumping really high. It jumped really high coming into that double, just landed a little bit shallow. Elise makes a big adjustment there to fit that in. She does a good job. One of the things you can really see Elise do is when she goes to steady, she really keeps her leg on, which is key to keeping the energy in the horse. You can see the lower leg of Elise kind of come back as she squeezes the horse when she goes to shorten. Keeps her hip angle closed a little bit, but that helps keep there. You can see it right there where she's adding leg, but she's also adding hand. She tries to make the adjustment, and there, again, similarly to what happened in the double coming in, jumps up high, but lands a little bit shallow on the back. So she will pick up 8 jumping faults and 74.76. Didn't register on the board, but we did see 2 come down. All right, we're going to move on to USA's Catherine Tyree Flores and Camilla Z. 12-year-old mare owned by Catherine Tyree LLC. And this is a horse formerly ridden by Lorenzo DeLuca as well as Ben Mayer. It's by Cliff 67 with the Sandra Boy Jr. mother. I always really like this horse. Has something about its demeanor that's just really friendly, and I've seen it jump some beautiful rounds. Again, not the most uphill balance, but Catherine does a great job with that. It's funny, actually, you always hear people saying they want uphill, but in the end, sometimes actually the horses that are a little bit more straight make it a little bit easier. You can kind of just lean against them, and they take you to the jumps a little bit better. There you can see the horse just took her out of the corner. Cat could just sit back, lean against her. Mare's, oh, I was going to say she's jumping beautifully, but has the A of that double coming in. She tried to set it up, but balance just a little bit low. Sets that up really well. Stays out on the outside track, ends up having to come forward a little bit to number 12. Gets over the last, but we'll just have that one down coming into the avocado-colored rails, double across the middle. And she'll finish up 72.13 on the 4 faults for Cat Tyree and Camila. We're going to stay in the U.S., and we're going to take a look at Andrew Wells, 36-year-old rider on the Evergreen Stables LLC Entra and the Itasca Group LLC entry Ida H&H. 11-year-old gelding by Action Breaker with the Glenridge mother. Let's see what Andrew can do today. Second horse in a row with the bridle, with the, that you can see sits behind the pole of the horse. Sort of an ergonomically designed bridle. We saw it on Cat Tyree's horse as well. And it's supposed to just take some pressure off the pole. I remember when they first came out, people thought they were kind of ugly, but now I think they're kind of cute. And anyway, it's all about functionality. As long as we can make these horses as comfortable as possible, that'll help them perform at their best. Nice jump there coming into the double. They're all jumping. The ox are coming out of that line really well. We have sort of a perfect angle here to see perpendicular, and they're all jumping it great. Steadies up here. That was well ridden by Andrew. Sets that up as well. And then you can see he's on the move a little bit, thinking about that time allowed. It's a big rollback turn here. And now we'll have to steady up coming in. Let the horse curl around those. Unfortunately, having B down, jumped A quite well, but just a little bit low on the balance coming out there. Gets over the last, but will pick up that late fault at the double vertical. 76.10 is their time. 4 faults for Andrew Wells and Idle H&H. So we will move over now back to Europe, and it's going to be Italy's Pia Giorgio Bucci. And the Marcello Bucci and Iron Horse Farm entry, Huntano. It's 12-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Quasimodo with the numero uno mother. All right, PG's been here all season, had a couple of really good results. Let's see what he can do on Huntano. A little bit insecure there with the front legs. Horse, you can see just kind of a little bit uneven with those legs, and then a little bit of a double pump at number 2. A little bit the technique of this horse. But yeah, jumps that one beautifully. It's just a little bit lag in time when he pulls those front legs up over the front pole. Again, just technique of the horse. Not a problem whatsoever. Pushes through that double a little bit and then sits up for the 4. Gets a really good jump there. PG really used his body and helped the horse jump up and around the skinny. Easy place for you to kind of just lean forward and the horse kind of jump right into it. And I thought PG did a great job to really get the horse to jump back and around it. There you could see a little bit the technique of the horse. Gets over the net, Jets Oxer. 1 left to go. He's well within the time. Clears the last, and he will add his name to the good list. 75.18 is that time for Pia Giorgio Bucci and Huntano. So that's going to bring our count up to 5 at the moment. And nice round there. And we will see them back in a little bit for our deciding round. All right. There's our next one. It's Brazil's Eduardo Pereira's Damon SS, 43-year-old rider ranked 135th in the world. And he is sitting on H5 Castel Mimo. 14-year-old mare owned by the H5 Sport Horses LLC, Sarah Maria Guerrero and Carlos Hank Gonzalez. It's a horse by Thunder Van de Zutova with the Cicero Z mother. And of course, we want to thank Adequan for their sponsor of today's class, as well as all season long here for our WEF Challenge Cup series. All right, Eduardo's underway. This horse, experienced mare. little bit of a flatter gallop. I want to say she actually maybe looks barefoot. I think she might actually be. Sometimes when you can spot those flatter gallops like Carl Cook's Caracol de la Roque, when they're barefoot, they gallop a little bit closer to the ground, a little less knee action. She does have B coming out of the Adequan double. We've seen A come down a bunch, not so much B. But just looked like she jumped at it a little bit on the landing. Jumps up around that one beautifully. Little bit of a touch at the skinny there. Luckily that one stays put. Gets over that. And gets over the last, but will pick up the one down early on at 6-8 and bird 6B. 4 faults, 74.86 is that time. Sorry, 5B. All right, we're going to go back over to the USA, and it's going to be Miss Catherine Passmore. 31-year-old rider, and she is sitting on Freedom de SB. 13-year-old gelding Biogonacita with the Fabulo de Gamut mother. Owned by the Passmore Show Stables, BV. Catherine, of course, was based in the EU for quite a while. She's now been over in the US for the last year or two. And I think she does a good job developing horses and buying and selling. She very talented rider. She's doing good. This horse can get a little bit strong with her, and he can kind of hide behind the bridle. I know she was saying she was trying out a couple of different bridles to try to get that control, because it's certainly a scopy, capable horse. A little bit of a rub there, just got a little bit low and quick across it, but it stayed up. Sets that up well, but just doesn't quite jump across coming out at B. I actually thought she set it up nicely. He could have helped her out a bit more. And they're just pushing the front pole out of the way, and as A down as well. Just had a little bit of speed coming into that double. She'll clear the last, but we'll pick up those 3 down on the course. 12 faults, 76.25 is the total for Catherine Passmore in Freedom. All right, back from a short stint up in Ocala. It's going to be USA's Chloe Reed and Crossover 4. This is the wonderful gelding that she's developed all the way up to the 5-star level. It's the Team Reed LLC entry, Crossover 4. This horse by Cascadello with the Choco Blue mother. And Chloe's had tremendous success on this horse. I've followed this horse in the results for quite a while now. She did a beautiful job getting him as a young horse, developing up to the highest level. He's been a little bit green on her recently, but he is a tremendous jumper, super, super careful, competitive. She's always up in the results. Beautiful jump there. Really sporty horse to see. Very quick with the front end, nice balance, great expression, ears always forward. Sits up great through those double verticals. Little bit of a reach there across that oxer. You could see him kind of just put his hind legs in, but gets over it, and they'll add their name to the good list. 75.81 is the time. Crossover 4 and Chloe Reed doing what they do best, just keeping on those clears. So now we're up to 6 for our jump off. Let's move on over to USA's Sarah Siegel and Speedy Jump. 14-year-old gelding owned by Horatio Street Ventures, LLC. Horse by Staccato Gold with the Quidam's Rubine mother. Sarah, of course, working with her longtime partner, Chris Kapler. Sarah's had a nice solid season here. Unfortunately, having that black vertical down, we actually haven't really seen that come down yet today. Maybe just jumped a little bit. It's on the angle there, the way that it's set. Maybe just shifted a little bit. And there, just looked like she got a little bit too deep and dead coming in at the oxer. Didn't have enough power. And then when he pushed the front pole out of the way, just landed shallow, not able to get out in the one stride. So Sarah just setting up again while they remake that jump. And buzzer goes, and she will give it a second attempt. Good shot there. Very brave horse. Doesn't even bat an eye. I think she just came in a little bit too deep the first time. It was more a distance issue, not the horse. Clearly the horse not being insecure at all. Sits up there, tries to fit in the 2, just gets a little bit on top of B, pushing that front pole out of the way. Nice space there. This horse is really scopy. Just looking like he's really taking her a little bit past those distances. Has B coming out of the double verticals as well. And she'll get over the last, but she will pick up 20 jumping faults, 12 on the clock. Time 88.47 is that time for Sarah Siegel. Of course, adding the 6 seconds for having to remake the obstacle after the refusal. All right, first of 5 left before our midway drag break. And it's going to be USA's Brian Goutal Marteau and SNL Marlon Van de Heffink. It's a 12-year-old stallion by Desir du Chateau with the Diabo Van de Heffink mother, owned by the SNL Farms. And I always love to tell the most amazing story about this horse. It was actually smuggled out of Ukraine into Poland and then into Belgium. And it didn't really do anything for 2 years during this whole process. So he's a little bit behind for his age. But amazing story to see that he is now competing in Wellington, Florida. I know Brian has real high hopes for this horse. And I always say it, but she is probably one of my most favorite riders in the whole world. I don't know if there are many people can do what she can do on a horse. Tremendous body control, tremendous natural feel. Just beautiful. Soft but strong, constant connection with the horse. Just had to keep moving a little bit. You could see he shifted a little bit left in that line, and she just had to keep moving to get up there. We're just a little bit quick coming in at A. Gets over the last, but will pick up down that late fault at the orange double. 77 flat is her time 4 faults. So 77 is our time allowed, and she ends up right on the nose, and that won't be a time fault for her. But she does pick up the 1 rail. All right, making our way down this list, we've got next up USA's Ashley Vogel and Saris Van Het Moshoff. 12-year-old mare, Bioganacita, with the Mozart de Hayet's mother. Owned and ridden by Ashley herself. 6 on the good list at the moment. Let's see if they can add their name. Nice and solid so far. Ashley still in the U25 division. So, and there you can see, ooh, horse just jumped through A, and she got it jumped a little bit loose at A, had the back pole, and then was not in the middle of the horse over B. But she is up. Horse is making his way around the ring a little bit, but she is up. Looks okay. So sometimes that just happens. Horse is giving himself a little lunge around the ring at the moment. So we are on a little bit of a pause. Just wait until he's captured. Looking like he's going for a little exercise. He's lapping the ring at the moment. Jumping over the hedges. But Ashley is up and fine. In this case, horse didn't do anything wrong. Just got jumped a little loose. All right, so we are sitting on 6 clear at the moment. Let's go through those 6. We've got our leadoff rider who won, was our first to go clear, Kendra Claricia Brinkup of Germany and Nectar van de Bisschop. Bartolina 2 and Mario Delorier for Canada. Casaletto and Kathleen Driscoll. Ivory TCS and Niall Nasser, the horse he won the speed class on last week. Huntano and Pia Giorgio Bucci were clear. And our most recent, Chloe Reed and Crossover 4. So it's shaping up to be a great jump off. Horse looks like he's captured. And our next one makes her way in. And it's going to be Vanessa Mannix and Carmela Z. 34-year-old rider ranked 144th in the world. She's sitting on her own entry of the 2011 Zangerside mare by Candilo with the Caratano mother. Again, we haven't seen Vanessa here all season. She's just made her way over from California. And let's see what she can do. I believe riding with Connor Swale. Beautiful jump there. That was spectacular effort on the horse's part. Just gorgeous jumper. Wow. Look at the hind end on this horse. Just flying. Beautiful. Really uses his head and neck. You can see he kind of pokes his little nose out. She sets it up good here. Pushes through that double a little bit, then sits up nice. Has great rideability. The horse really holds himself off the jumps. She's riding really well. Horse such a trier. Little stretch there at 12, but jumps it well. Clears the last and makes simple work of the course. 76-12. Stay within our time allowed, and Vanessa Mannix will add their name to the good list with an absolutely beautiful round there. You can see big smiles on Vanessa's face. And now we're going to move on to the French woman, Nina Malave, and the Rain Family LLC entry, Cartier SR. This is a 12-year-old gelding by Cantor with a Cassini mother. Nina is just 24 years of age. Finished up on our podium in the 4-star Grand Prix earlier in the season. And that all-female podium where Tiffany Foster won on Battle Cry. And off Nina goes. This horse really scopy. Beautiful jump there at the wall. This horse is going great, and then actually got a little bit spooky at one point throughout this, like midway through the season, but he's looking back on track right now. Jumping great. It's a beautiful jumper. Big push out there. That was a super ride by Nina, and then she had to push out to get out, and then ends up just a little bit on top of that 4 strides for the skinny. She had to push so hard to get out of the double that she had just a lot of speed and just wasn't able to shorten that stride enough quite to get to the skinny. Big jump there at number 12. You can see she really moved up to the gap, gets over the last, but she will pick up 1 on the clock as well, 77.72. So 1 on the clock, 4 jumping, 5 total for Nina Malave and Cartier SR. All right, Nicholas Delajoyo's up next, 34-year-old rider for the USA. And he is sitting on the Berry Group LLC entry, Cornets Cambridge. And it's the 12-year-old gelding by Balou du Rouventon with the Cambridge 8 mother. I believe this is the horse that he jumped the World Cup finals on last year. Very scopy. Nick was out, had groin surgery earlier in the year, so he is just getting back up to this level. Big jump here. Jumps that really well. This horse has been a great partnership, the two of them. Steadies up coming out of the corner there. That offset Liverpool vertical at the Lugano Diamonds not causing too much trouble today. We've seen a couple of rubs, but don't actually think it's fallen maybe once. But that jump not causing too much trouble at all today. Sometimes we see the Liverpools really cause a lot of trouble, and that one not too bad today. This double verticals at the end certainly is causing trouble, but not for Nicky. Does have a rub at B and rubs the back pole of number 12 as well. They're all just getting a little bit caught out on that line to the Net Jets. But Nick putting in a beautiful round, 75.96. They will become our 8th clear, and that will take us to our midway drag. Again, 8 clear at the moment. Thanks, of course, to our sponsors of today's class, Adequan. And Adequan, Regent Animal Health, maker of Adequan, polysulfated glycosaminoglycan, is proud to sponsor today's $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. For over 30 years, Adequan has been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners. Visit adequan.com to learn more. All right, we're going to take a quick break. They're going to refresh the footing. Luckily, the weather is holding out so far. We've got 8 on the good list so far, but stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back with the second half of this class coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere.
I share my life with them. I think we're lucky that we get to do what we do, and I've never looked at it as a sacrifice.
For me, being on a horse is the one place I can truly be myself.
They do have a language, you just have to learn how to speak it.
Remember that they feed off of our energies, and so if you're in a good mood or you're happy, they'll reflect that back.
You meet people from all over the world. You have friends that share the same passion for horses, and I think that's something very special.
Horses is the only constant thing in my life, and it will always be there when I need it.
For me, it's connection.
They make me who I am.
It's very hard to explain. It's magical.
It's just who we are.
In one word, it's freedom.
For me, it's everything.
It goes like this.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated family of real estate companies who have developed and acquired more than 43,000 units representing $7.5 billion in transactions since inception. With over 650 associates nationally, Bainbridge engages in virtually every step of the real estate process, from development and construction, acquisition and disposition, to asset management and third-party property management of multifamily real estate. Bainbridge is the 10th largest multifamily developer and the 14th largest multifamily builder in the United States. Our team of experienced and knowledgeable professionals is devoted to creating exceptional living experiences for all of our residents and building lasting, mutually beneficial relationships with our partners and clients. To learn more, visit www.bainbridgecompanies.com.
The greatest thing about our sport is not the ribbons, the trophies, nor the crowds. Each and every one of us found this sport because it gave us something we couldn't find before. What our sport gave us was a common love through horses. It forged a bond greater than petty differences and the sting of competition. It gave us community, it gave us love, and it gave us support through the good times and the bad. It gave us encouragement, and it gave us the strength to persevere through the toughest of times. The older we get, the more we realize the importance of one another and supporting one another. We cannot go forward without each other. Join us March 24th at Eye Candy Farm for the Mystery Lip Sync and Talent Show, where you can make a difference in the great community we have built together. We are Equestrian Strong. We are the Kevin Babington Foundation. Learn more and register on our website, kevinbabingtonfoundation.org.
Can Jumper make you a show jumping expert? With Jumper, explore the latest event results, discover top horses and riders, and follow your favorites. Jumper delivers data from around the world, so you're always the most informed. Download now and take the guesswork out of show jumping with Jumper. Can Jumper help you find your next top horse? Let's say you're looking for an 8-year-old, competing at meter 40, jumping clear 60% of the time. Jumper lets you find top horses by age, pedigree, or performance. Download now and take the guesswork out of show jumping with Jumper.
Welcome to Carlswood, the home of Irish Olympic medalist, coach and international horse producer, Cian O'Connor. At Carlswood, we pride ourselves on the belief that success is reward for effort. Set in County Meath, Carlswood is the home of Cian's industry-leading high-performance centre. The Carlswood system is based on a structured approach to daily routine and meticulous planning to help reach our goals. At Carlswood, Cian and the team work together to provide coaching, mentoring, advice on horse purchases and goal setting. We also facilitate students who wish to progress their show jumping skills while they study in universities in Ireland and across Europe. When it comes to developing your horse's fitness, scheduling and planning around competitions, no stone is left unturned.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, to the $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Getting our second half started is going to be Illuminati MBF and USA's Alex Matz, 27-year-old rider, ranked 180th in the world. Owned by Adele B. Dilschneider Racing Stables, LLC. It's horsed by Lansdowne with the Air Jordan mother. We're sitting on 8 clear at the moment, and we're going to get this second half underway. We'll see how many more we're going to see in our jump off, but it's been a good class so far. Alex looking good so far. Gets through that difficult double early on. Again, no trouble at that Liverpool. Sets up the 4 beautifully. Has A coming into that double. And again, we've seen A or B of that double come down the majority of the class. So he'll just pick up that late fault, 75.37 for faults. To get this second half started, he'll go into 15th place at the moment. And we will move on to our next, who's going to be Brazil's Gabriel de Matos Machado. And the Sweet Oak Farm entry, Niles van de Montalhove. All right, this is the Bay Winds Equestrian LLC entry, as well as Equine Equity Partners LLC. This horse is an 11-year-old gelding by I Am Morhova Star. Gabriel's been doing well all season long here. Lots of different horses throughout all the big level classes. It's looking like the rain might be coming down now a little bit. Just starting. Maybe not, actually. It's misting out a little bit. It's trying to hold off for the class. Sits up here. You can see him really use his upper body. Lean back, just trying to slow the horse down, which he does very well. Gets that 4 done. And then keeps the leg on. Uses a little opening rein to keep the horse guided towards it. Really stays on the outside track to the net jets, but it works out. We'll have to take a look at his time. I think he'll might be just over. And he is 79.48. So that'll put him on a clear jumping round, but 3 on the clock for Gabriel de Matos Machado. But beautiful jumping round, just a little bit on that outside track, kind of near the end. So a little too slow, but a good round. All right, now we're going to take a look at USA's Georgina Bloomberg and the Gotham Enterprises LLC entry to Laura Colemine, 14-year-old stallion by Coleman with the Keenar Z mother. Looking like Tulara is just being a little playful to get started, but he tends to do that. George just ignoring it. And off she goes. Again, 8 clear at the moment. This horse's gallop can be real up and down. Unfortunately, just having the first jump down, I don't think we've actually seen anyone else have that down. Has the second jump down as well. This horse not the easiest to ride. George does usually a very good job managing it. You can see he can get a little fussy in the mouth. He's jumping good now. Maybe just needed to loosen up a little bit. Sometimes the horses get in there and they're a little bit frozen from 1 to 2. You could see he was kind of playing and not super focused. Now he looks like he's on the job. A little bit of a touch coming in there. And unfortunately, the skinny coming down. And a little bit the technique of this horse sometimes just makes it hard for him to get the front legs kind of out of the way. He'll have the last one down as well, so that will be 20 jumping faults. She will pick up a 1 on the clock, 77.33, just over that time allowed. So a total of 21 for Georgina and Tular Colemine. All right, now we're going to move over to Belgium and Emily Conter, 23-year-old rider. She's sitting on Portobello Van de Fruitkorf. It's the Stefak Stables entry and Paul Swinnon of the Bamako de Muse Nabob de Rev, 9-year-old mare. So big ask for a 9-year-old. Again, this is a 4-star, -50, almost -55 class. So certainly a big step for a nice 9-year-old coming up, but Emily clearly having faith in her mare. So sitting in the saddle, this horse has a nice little active gallop. Big jump there. This horse by Bamako de Muse, which is a horse we spoke earlier about, the de Muse stud. Well, Joris de Brabander's daughter, Caroline de Brabander, was the rider of Bamako de Muse, and was a really, really nice horse that she jumped all over Europe. Actually, I think she still jumps it. But as you can see, the rain is coming down now, unfortunately. Does not seem to be affecting Emily. Beautiful jump there. She really set that up. Held the upper body to help slow that jump down. If she had been any more forward with her shoulders, it could have thrown the balance of the horse off there and made the skinny jumps faster. And instead, she did a great job to slow it down. Looking really good here. This 9-year-old handling this class like an absolute champ. 1 left to go. Gets over it well within that time allowed, and she will add her name to the good list. 73.59. Big smile on her face. Portobello becoming our 9th clear round. 73.59 was their time. So picked up another clear now in this second half, and we're going to move on to Puerto Rico's 34-year-old rider, Vasco Flores. Sitting on the 13-year-old Danish warm-blood mare, owned by Anton Marano. It's by Cosmio, the Boga Gardens Apollo mother. All right, let's see what Vasco can do. Can they add their name to the good list? It's been a nice fair class today. Time alloved's been a factor, but certainly doable. We've seen faults come all over the place, especially within the doubles, which of course is typical. Nice shape in that line there. He had a really beautiful shot at number 2. Wall not seeming to cause much trouble today at all. Just looking very simple. Horse not doing anything particularly flashy, but just jumping the jumps as he needs to. A little bit of a rub there on the top of that Liverpool vertical. Gets over that, steadies up nicely there. Unfortunately, Skinny comes down. We are seeing that come down a lot. The 4 is steady. I thought he gave nice room there, but the horse just, again, with the skinny poles, optical illusion for the horse. They don't see it well. Pale blue color. Just jumped a little low. Keeps him on it to the last, unfortunately. Just back pole coming down. So he'll pick up 8 faults. 75.03 is the time for Vasco Flores and Cosmona. Now we're going to move on to a woman who has been doing beautifully all season long. It's Sloane Coles of the USA and the Ninja Group's Ninja JW Vandemorhova. 35-year-old rider, and she is sitting on the 11-year-old mare out of Elvis DePutto with the Cashmere mother. And the mother of this horse is actually Gazelle from Kent Farrington. There you can see, Damn Gazelle. So, if those of you remember, Gazelle was a wonderful horse for Kent. And this is her baby. Jumps a little bit at that wall, gets over it, but this horse does things really in her own way a bit. But she is a super jumper. She's been a great horse. Sloane's developed her, I think, since she was about 8 or 9. Sits up nicely here. And then you can see really making that adjustment there. Great job on Sloane's part to really get that done. Keeping the pace up, thinking about the time allowed. Steadies up for the 5, gets through the double verticals. 2 left to go. Keeps the leg on here, keep the energy up, gets across the net jets. And then steadies up for the last. Beautiful round. And they will add their name to the good list. 73-26. And Ninja making light work of today's course. So that will take our count up to 10 at the moment. And now we're going to move on to Catherine A. Dinan and the Grant Road Partners LLC entry out of the blue SCF. 30-year-old rider representing her home country of the USA, ranked 138th in the world. This horse is a 10-year-old mare by Verdi with the Cassini 1 mother. As you can see, the rein is nice and steady now at the moment. And I believe this horse actually was bred here in the U.S. by Spy Coast Farm. You can see that with the SCF at the end of the name. And I want to say Shane Sweetnam actually had the ride on this horse. I believe he did. Katie riding it now. Looking good so far. Really well ridden there. She really used the upper body, but kept the energy in the horse. Sets up the 5. Beautiful jump, really athletic, really pushed the ground coming out at B there. Great shot there. And clears the last, looking like a super partnership for Katie Dinan. And out of the blue, 74.85 is their time, so they too will be clear, bringing our count up to 11. That was a beautiful, beautiful round there for Katie. And out of the blue. All right, now we're going to take a look at German rider Rupert Karl Winkelmann, 31 years of age, and he's sitting on Calvado's Sun. It's the Eichendorff horses, GmbH and Co. entry. Let's see what he can do. Rupert, normally based in Europe, but he's been now here in the U.S., I believe, since the fall. And I think he's going to stay over here. Said he was going to do Calgary and some North American stuff. So not planning on heading back to Europe anytime soon. Working with Sean Crooks, and he's had a really great season. Won one of our meter 50 speeds on his other super horse, Quinn. Nice shot there. Unfortunately, top pole of that Liverpool vertical coming down. We actually have not seen that come down much in the class. And great skip move there by the horse in the middle of the double. And then unfortunately just jumps at the skinny a little bit. Just didn't take his time and curl around it, kind of just jumped right into it a bit. Good reaction there at the IDA development Oxer. Gets over those double verticals, a little bit on the right corner. He stays out, but then keeps coming forward to number 12. And then steadies up to number 13, but just gets a little bit close to the front pole at the end. So he will pick up 3 down, 1 on the clock, times 77.39. So total of 13 for Karl going into 28th place. And I'm not actually sure of the qualifying rules for Sunday's Grand Prix here today. It's a little bit different than some of the other weeks. And so normally from the WEF it's been 30 and then another 10 from the meter 50. But tomorrow's meter 50 final is a little bit different because it's our Saturday night class under the lights. So we'll see who qualifies for Sunday. But let's take a look at USA's Cayman de Potosí. That was a tongue twister. And of course, Jessica Springsteen. Stonehill Farm entry of the 9-year-old gelding by Callado 3 with the Casal mother. This is the first big class for Cayman. But he's been going really well for Jess. She's been developing him the last couple of years up to this high level. They're a little bit insecure about the front legs at the wall. Gets over it. But we do see that happen sometimes. Unfortunately, rain really coming down at the moment, but he's jumping beautifully. She did a good job there to kind of keep the energy, leg to hand, kept it active. Beautiful jump there. Sits up. Actually, a little bit the way he stabbed the ground there really helped slow her down in the 4-stride, created more space. So that worked out well. Horse having a great expression, jumps up real high there, very scopy. She uses the upper body, jumps through the double. Beautiful there. 1 left to go. She's a little bit close on the clock. And unfortunately will pick up that 2-time fault, 78.63. But a beautiful jumping round. And I think Jess will be really happy with that. Of course, this is the first big step up for that horse, and he jumped absolutely beautifully. Handled it like a pro. All right, we're going to move on to our winner of yesterday's meter 50 speed class, Belgium's Zoe Conter, 25-year-old rider. This time she's sitting on Enrico de la Palme, the Geert Beertsen entry of the 10-year-old gelding by Vigo Darsui with the Ingmar mother. As you can see, that rain is just coming down steady now. Not so pleasant. It's not particularly stormy out. It's just raining. Where there a little bit, the horse just kind of stuttered on takeoff. Got lucky that that did not come down. Just a little bit soft on takeoff, and then he kind of stuttered as he took off, but cleared it. Nice at the wall. Backed up good there in that double. Has the front, has A coming into that double behind. Just looked like he went to steady and balance up for B. Just didn't quite finish the jump at A. Gets through the difficult double verticals. Gets over that. One left to go. Clears the last, but just picking up that one at A of the double across the middle for the avocado colored poles. 4 faults, 74.38 is their time. They'll go into 18th place at the moment. All right, 15 remaining on the original start list, and first of those is going to be 20-year-old rider from the USA, Elena A. Haas. She is sitting on her own entry, Claude. It's 12-year-old gelding by Captain Jack with the Cephalo mother. It's a Westphalian gelding. She's riding with Andrew Wells. She's been having a very good season, came out really strong early on. Made big strides in her riding, really riding well. This horse, a big horse with a big gallop, really uphill, very scopy. A little disunited here in the gallop, but doesn't affect the balance at all. Jumps through that double great. Again, Elena's been riding super, had some really good results on this horse. Actually, on a lot of her horses. Sets that up really well. Beautifully done there, steadying up the 4 strides. Again, we've seen the skinny come down a lot. Oh, unfortunately, A of that double coming down. Just looked like maybe the horse got a little bit straight through his body there. And then there he took off, shifted a little bit to the side, and just didn't get across the back. So in the end, she'll pick up 8 faults, 75.07 her time. So beautiful round, just a couple of troublesome spots at the end. And with the 2 down. All right, now we're going to take a look at Eliza Lerman and the 5-Way Farm LLC entry, Eluna CLZ. This horse has been a really great horse for Eliza over the last couple of years. I've watched her develop the horse, and she's now a 12-year-old mare. She's by Emerald van der Rijtershof. And with the Nabob mother. And it really looks like an Emerald. Really good behind, gummy, athletic horses. This horse really compact, head to tail. Such a nice jumper. You can see it has a couple of things on its head. It's got the compression mask, which is supposed to help with calmness, supposedly. And a breathe right strip on the nose that helps kind of pull apart the nostrils so that the horses can get the maximum amount of oxygen into their nasal passage to help with breathing. So, mare is well equipped. And again, remember, it's all about that extra 1% here and there that you can get, if that helps. Eliza giving a good ride here so far. Keeps the energy up to this. Mare's jumping beautifully. Really jumps around those double verticals, really set herself. Strong to this one at the net jets. One left to go. I think she's good on the time. Clears the last, and they will be another clear, 75.92. And Luna CLS becomes our 12th. So that makes it a dozen. Coming back for our jump off at the moment. And about 14 or so left to jump. All right, now we're moving on to the young rider, 24-year-old Sabrina Lefebvre, coming out of Canada. She's on RF Most Wanted, 11-year-old gelding by Vegas with the Madison mother. This is 11-year-old. Let's see how this goes. Sabrina's just 24 years of age. Usually the RF indicating a horse from Marilyn and Lynn Little's farm. Looking like maybe she just didn't like what she saw. It is normally 6 strides in that line, but she landed and maybe just didn't like what she saw, or something just doesn't quite feel right. And looking like she might be calling it a day. There we go. Raises the white flag and says, you know what? Not going the way we want. So she will retire within the round, and we'll move on to our next. Next is going to be Raleigh Heiler, 24-year-old rider for the USA, and she's sitting on Lennox Van de Bischko. 13-year-old gelding by Balabé du Rouet, owned by Suzanne Hansen and Kurt Heiler. All right, and they're off. This horse formerly ridden by Sophie Hinners in Germany. I've seen it jump a couple of times. It's very, very scopy. And there, it just looks like he's spooking at something a little bit. Not sure quite what he was looking at. But you could see while he was going to it, he's had his eyes on something else. And just comes back around. She gets him over it. Does have it down, but good that she got him over it. And now she'll try to get back on track. Jumps the wall. Nice shot there. Horse again jumping a little bit in his own style. Kind of jumps up with the legs out in front of him a little bit. Has the top pole of the Liverpool there. Steadies up really well there in the 4. She rode that beautifully. Big jump at the IDA development. Oxer comes in a little bit strong here, but the horse really backs up well. Jumps the last, but does hook that front pole behind there. You can see him spooking a little bit on the side of the ring. Not liking something on the VIP side today. So she will finish 91.32. 20 jumping, 19 on the clock. And they will go into 37th at the moment. All right, now we're going to take a look at USA's Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Gerendal Z. 13-year-old stallion, ridden by the 27-year-old rider, ranked 38th in the world. Owned by Chansonet Farm LLC. And it's by Agonix with the Topaz mother. Of course, this horse was ridden by Jill Verheij in the Netherlands. And it's actually one of the first Agonixes to jump in the sport. So it's one of the oldest Agonixes out there. And it's been a really great horse his whole life. And it is a stallion, and we've actually bred with him ourselves. And Lily took over the ride of this horse as a 6-year-old. And it's just been a tremendous partnership for the two of them. Won the World Cup qualifier out west last year. And Augie and Lily are a trusty partnership. He's just so secure about his parts. Knows where everything is. Always tries his heart out. Can be very quick. Beautiful jump there. Slows that down beautifully, then lands, picks the pace up here. Gets over the last, and nice clear round there for Lily, 74.10, and that'll give us a baker's dozen at the moment. So Agana and Lily Keenan making it 13 clear as we head into our remaining bunch. And let's see if USA's Michaela Langmeyer and Pepita van der Rollebeek. So 23-year-old rider sitting on the Linda Langmeyer entry of the 9-year-old mare by Otangelo. And I think we've got 10 left after this. And Michaela, such a strong rider for the U.S. Again, just in her young 20s, so just coming on up, but really from a horse family. And she's a really strong rider up there. She's been super competitive. I've seen her win a lot of classes, go very, very quick. And she's strong up there. And she manages to always make things look nice and simple. A little bit of a rub coming in there at A. Luckily, that one stays up. She gets the 5 done. That was nicely done. Very, very simple. She moved up, then steadied the last stride, so the horse had balance. She looks fine on time. 1 left to go. Clears the last. And 76.03, so not super close. She was a little bit close on the time, but that means she will also be clear, bringing our count up to 14 coming back for this jump off so far. And we're going to take a look at moving on over to Mexico and Eugenio Garza Perez and the El Milagro entry. Chalery PS. Eugenio's 27 years old, ranked 71st in the world. And Chalery is a 10-year-old stallion by Choco Blue with the Balabé du Rouet mother. And that Balabé mother also jumped 145 in the sport, so clearly well-bred. By Choco Blue, you can see that in this horse, not only just because of the coloring, but if you think about other horses from Choco Blue, like Explosion W from Ben Mayer, very similar, a lot of blood. Of course, Balabé, also a big chestnut, if you remember from Rodrigo, that big gallop. So he won just about everything there is in this sport. And that just looked like a miscommunication. I think he thought the horse was going to leave one stride early, and the horse just thought they were a little bit too far away. So just a little bit of an error there. And they will reset that jump, and he'll give it another attempt. Yeah, I'm not so sure what he saw there. Come in again. Jumps A nice. Moves up in the 2. Gets through it. Again, we're seeing a number of like mistakes and problems in the doubles that we don't normally see, and then the horse is kind of coming back through and jumping them fine. So certainly not losing any confidence from it. Just that's the way it goes sometimes. Just a little miscommunication. Gets over the last, but will pick up 8 jumping, 7 on the clock, 83.12 the time for Eugenio Garza and Chalery. All right, now we're going to move on to the woman who took an early WEF Challenge Cup and a tie out on the field. I think that might have been week 2. And she looks like she's making a little adjustment with her gloves. And it's going to be Great Britain's Amanda Derbyshire. 35-year-old rider ranked 108th in the world. She's sitting on her own entry and the Gotchman Sport Horse LLC Cornwall BH. 16-year-old gelding by Conair with the Cambridge 8 mother. Again, 14 clears at the moment. And a bunch left to go. Amanda's such a scrappy rider. Just always fights to the last stride to get it done. She's not such a big girl, but she is super secure up there. Real grit. She shows amazing grit. And she can be incredibly fast. If she makes it into our jump off, you know, she's always one to watch out for, especially going late in the order like this. Looking good so far. A little bit of a touch there at the top of the skinny. Luckily, that one stays put. Makes the adjustment there into the double verticals. That was well done. Leg across this. Just a little on the edge with the time. See, I think she's going to be over. Unfortunately, she is. 78.16 will cause her to pick up 2 time faults for Amanda Derbyshire and Cornwall BH. They'll finish in 15th place at the moment. All right, we're going to move on to 38-year-old rider for the USA, Anna Dryden, and the Double Meadows GLLC entry, Knight van de Quakelhoek. This is the Gilbert. Horses by Gilbert with the Toulon mother. It's an 11-year-old stallion, Knight van de Quakelhoek. And I've been based over here for the season, for the winter. She normally actually spends a lot of her time in Europe working with Philip Weishaupt. But such a successful rider. She does it mostly as an amateur, but she rides better than some professionals, I know. Beautiful ride here. An amazing fact about Anna, she's actually done some steeplechase riding in her day, which makes her the bravest person I know. Beautiful ride there. Sets this up a little bit. Maybe does one more through the turn there that she initially intended. But 5 worked out well. Have to keep an eye. I think she's a little bit slow on the clock, and unfortunately not going to matter. Has the front pole of the NetJets Oxer, and she will pick up one on the time, 77.72. Penultimate fence coming down, 4 faults, 1 on the clock, so total of 5 for Anna Dryden. That puts her into 30th at the moment. But looking like we've got about 5 left to jump in this first round. Again, 14 in the jump off, going to be coming back so far. But let's see what USA's Chris M. Uwanowski can do. 37-year-old rider. And he's sitting on Condor du Valdesi. Owned by Polo Jump LLC. And it's a 12-year-old gelding by Quite Easy with the Quito Debausi mother. And Chris has had some really good rounds with this horse throughout season. Stepped it up to the higher levels. Jumping the 4- and 5-star levels the last few weeks. A little bit of a hesitation step as the horse took off there, but it actually threw a beautiful jump. Really opened up great behind. Gets over that wall. Maybe not the prettiest jump, but gets it done. Kicks out there a little bit behind. Really trying to be careful. Big jump there at the Oxer. Clears that. And gets a good shot there at the Oxer. He's looking good so far. Clears this. 2 left to go. Keep an eye on that time. I think he's going to be okay. And he is 76-76. Clear round for Chris Uwanowski and Condor du Valdesi. Beautiful round there. And that means we're going to have 15 so far coming back. And we've got a few more to jump. But well done there to Chris and Condor. Now we're going to take a look at Jad Dana of Lebanon, the 29-year-old rider ranked 112th in the world. And he's sitting on the Peter Howard and Laurie Sudreau entry, Caro W. It's the 12-year-old gelding by Castellan 2 with the Aragorn mother. Former ride of Leslie Burr Howard. And let's see what Chad can do. Little bit of a rub there at number 3. Luckily, that one stays up. Beautiful here through that double. Little bit encouragement there just to come forward to jump that oxer. Gets that done. Steadies up here into the double. Little bit of a leg out. Gets that done. Puts the foot down on the gas, moves up a little bit around this turn. Steadies up for this, and unfortunately, just not able to get over A. And there he just was thinking that the horse was going to leave. Just looked like the horse was a little bit not following the leg. I think he thought he was there, and the horse just wasn't quite with him. It's not necessarily a problem to leave the gap, but I think the horse was just not quite following. So unfortunately, with that, couple faults and the circle, 12 jumping, 14 on the clock, 90.20 is the time for Jad and Caro W. Looking like we're making a little adjustment on the magnetic stirrups, is what that looked like. And that adjustment is for Nicolette Hurt of the USA with a Chatwood Farms LLC entry, Chateau 7. 15-year-old gelding by Choco Blue with the Toulon mother. And longtime partner of hers. Let's see what Nikki Hurt can do with Chateau. This horse has had some really good results with Nikki. Real trusty steed of hers. Getting older now, 15 years old, but tons of experience. Jumped a lot of big classes. Nice shot there. Horse a little bit in his own style, kind of jumps the jump. You can watch how the head and neck work with the jump. Always jumps like this. Little bit of a gap coming in there. Makes for the 2 to be a little bit shorter, but that actually helps set up the 4. So she landed not pushing it on the neck, but it landed really kind of backed up from B. Nice shot there. Little bit of a gap coming into the double verticals. That works out. 2 left to go. I think she looks okay on the time. Stretch across the net jets. She looks fine on the time. And another beautiful clear. So Nikki Hurt and Chateau 7 producing another clear. That'll give us 16 coming back for the deciding round. We've got 3 left to jump. And we'll see if any more make it into our jump off. But first of those 3 is going to be Australia's Tyza Erwin. And the Michael and Wendy Smith entry, High Star Hero. This powerhouse horse of hers that she's had really nice success on. It's the 11-year-old gelding by I Am Morhova Star with the Darko mother. This horse has all the scope and all the ability, and really impressed when he first kind of started jumping these higher level jumps. Unfortunately, front pole of number 2 coming down. Good shot at the wall. Great jump there at that oxer. Jumped that really, really beautifully. Shame with the early fault at number 2 because he's jumping great. Big shot here. Jumps out there good. See how he jumps through these double verticals. Jumps A well. Really flies out at B. That was beautifully done. A little bit on the outside track, so she has to keep moving. Whew, gets a little bit lucky. Horse throws the hind legs down into that jump and threw it right into the middle. So he didn't touch a pole. Unfortunately, just have a number 2 down. 4 faults, 76.11 for Tyza Erwin and a high start hero. And big effort there at the end, but unfortunate with the 1 down. All right, and now we're going to see the first of our remaining 2, Japan's Karen Poli and Jet Run. Karen is 31 years of age, and she is sitting on her own entry of the 14-year-old gelding by Choco Blue with the Robin Z mother. She had some really good results of this horse early on in season. He'd been coming back from a little bit of time off. And then they ran into a little bit of some trouble, but he's looking like he's back now. Good shot here. This horse came from Sergio Moya from Spain. Well done there at the wall. Karen actually just back from Europe. She spent the week in Saut-d'Hermès at the 5-star show last week in Paris. Jumps this well. Beautiful jump there. Gets over that nicely. And here, just looking like he locks up a little bit on that right side. And let's see if she can get him through the turn here. Just. And there he comes through the turn beautifully. So, not sure if he saw something or just a little bit locking up against the bridle. Bit of a disobedience, but gets over 12. 1 left to go. Beautiful jumping round. Unfortunately, just a little bit of that trouble up at the top, so she'll pick up 4 faults for that circle. 18 on the clock, 94.93 is the time, but actually beautiful jumping round. But that means we're going to move on to our last entry of this first round for the $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. And we're heading over to Mexico for our last one. It's the 23-year-old rider, Carlos Hank Guerrero, and H5 Ganesh Hero Z. 10-year-old stallion by Gemini with the Diamond Assembly mother, owned by H5 Sport Horses, LLC. And of course, this horse by Gemini, I always love to chat about how it's the clone of Gem Twist. So, unlike in racing, in show jumping, and other equestrian disciplines, we can actually do cloning and use the semen to create more babies. So we not only see the clones for breeding purposes, we do see some of the clones in the sport itself, but more so I think they're actually using it for breeding. Especially they say that the mares are not 100% identical because of the mitochondria on the cells that they have to use for the mares, whereas the stallions, the DNA is exactly 100%. We'll see. Clearly not a perfected science at this point, but Ganesh Hero looking beautiful. Carlos has been riding spectacularly all season, especially on fire the last couple of weeks. It's looking good here. 2 left, well within the time. And they will make it a clear to round out our class. 75.16, and they will bring the count up to 17 clear total for this WEF Challenge Cup. So we are going to see a lot come back. They're going to take a little bit of a break. Thanks again, of course, to Adequan for sponsoring today's class. And rain is coming down, so they don't need a water truck, but the drags are going to come out. They're going to remove some of the jumps, set up for the jump off, and we're going to have approximately 17 returning for our deciding round. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, hello and welcome back, everybody, to the $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. We saw 17 qualify for our jump off. I believe 16 are actually going to jump off, at least that we know of so far. Let's go through those qualifiers. First up was Germany's Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff. Next up, Canada's Mario Deloria and his Olympic partner Kathleen Driscoll of the USA, Niall Nasser of Egypt, Italy's Piergiorgio Bucci, says France, but he's Italian, Chloe Reed from the USA, Vanessa Mannix of Canada, Nicholas Del Gioia from the US, Emily Conter of Belgium, Sloane Coles, Catherine Dinan, Eliza Lehrman, all from the USA. That's our top 12. And then we move on to a few more from the U.S. Lily Keenan, Michaela Langmeyer, Chris Uwanowski, and Nicolette Hurt. But rounding out those 17 is Mexico's Carlos Hank Guerrero. And that's what it's looking like. And our first one is coming on in. It's the German lady, Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff, 29-year-old rider, 97th ranked rider in the world, riding for Stefek Stables, and Kendra is sitting on Nectar van de Bisschop. The Stefek Stables and Scuderia 1918 Capital SRL entry of the 11-year-old Belgian-bred stallion by Echo. All right, we know how fast she can be. She's been just knocking at the door since she's been here the last couple of weeks. Couple of second-place finishes. I believe she might have won a class. So she has just been on fire. Swooped in here and dominating, making the U.S. field look a little weak. Let's see if Kendra can do it today. Coming off the right, first jump here was B of the double. Gets the nice 8 to the net jets. Left-handed turn across the middle to a new jump at 15. Single jump, slice at the vertical, gallop across. It was the wall. Now there's a rail on top. 5, 6, 7, 8 into the double. And now right-hand turn. And it's going to be this oxer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the last. Ooh. And the horse just looking like he didn't quite see it. It was a vertical in the first round. It's now an oxer. Actually, she was on it, but horse just hesitated when he went to take off. 40.01. She will pick up the 4 faults. So quick time. She was really looking solid, but again, new obstacle, same poles, but it was a vertical and now an oxer. The horse just didn't quite look like he saw it. Thought she was there, and horse just a little scared. All right, but they look fine now. And we will move on to our second qualifier, which you can see here on the screen. That is Mario Deloria of Canada. And he is sitting on Bartolina 2. They're just rebuilding that obstacle, so they give Mario a second. And this horse owned by Mario Deloria and the Wishing Well Farm LLC. There you can see Kendra making her way out of the ring. All is well, but ended up on the 4 faults to get us started. All right. 2009 Holsteiner Mare by Clarimo. Bartolina 2. His Olympic mount. Let's see what he can do in this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, week 11 here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Mario just waiting for them to set that final jump and ring the buzzer. There it goes. Time allowed in this jump off is 45 seconds. Again, that shouldn't be much of a factor for our top placers, but let's see what Mario does as far as strides. Nice in the 8. And then left hand, long run across the middle to this skinny. This horse has a huge stride, so she could cover a lot of ground. He really hugs that, gets a good shot. Steadies up in the 8 to the double. And now let's see what he does down to the last. 5, 6, 7, 8. Big jump to the last. Gets through the timers. 39.12 is that time. And he becomes our automatic class leader. 39-12. Mario Delorier and Bartolina putting on the pressure for everyone else to follow. I do think that it is maybe beatable. He looked a little bit conservative back from the net jets to the vertical across the middle, although the rest looked quite good. And again, that horse does have a big stride. But let's see if USA's Kathleen Driscoll and Casaletto can catch him. 39.12 is that time. Plain Bay Farm entry of the 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding. Off she goes. Gets the nice 8. Again, we talked about it in the first round. This is a horse that needs a little bit of time when he gets to the jump. Good shot there. Huge jumper, this. And again, covers tremendous ground. Whew. Takes the long one there, gets away with it. Stays on it to this double, jumps beautifully. And a little bit steady to this oxer. 5, 6, 7, 8. Gets the last, gets through the timers. 38.75, and she will take over the lead. So that becomes the new time to beat. She was quick. And again, big horse, big stride. So 38.75, 0.3 of a second faster. And Kathleen Driscoll goes into the lead. All right, now let's take a look at Egypt's Nile Nasser and his winning mount from the meter 50 speed last week. It's Ivory TCS, so we know that they can be super speedy. Class they won last week, they were ultra fast. Let's see, this horse built for speed. Let's see if Nile can catch the new time set by Kathleen Driscoll, 38.75. And off they go. So he does 9, but this horse is a little bit smaller strided, but so fast. Look at this, super quick. Sets this up. Again, slows up a little bit. Oh, unbelievably careful mare to jump that. Then he steadies up a little bit to this. He's gonna have to keep going to try to catch her. 38.75 is that time. Whoa, he wanted the long one, didn't think he was getting there. Steadies up. He'll stay out, probably do one more here. And clears the last, but just things didn't quite come up the way he wanted. You can see him shake his head there. 40.43. He'll go into third with the double clear, but not exactly the way Nile would have loved that to go. Again, good effort. He wasn't like he wasn't trying, but sometimes in jump-offs, things just don't quite come up the way that you want them to, and you get stuck on doing one more. And that's a little bit what happened with Nile. All right, let's take a look at Italy's Pia Giorgio Bucci and Huntano. Let's see if they can catch Kathleen Driscoll's time of 38.75. Off he comes, short approach from the right. Marcelo Bucci and Iron Horse Farm entry of the 12-year-old gelding. Gets it here, stays on the left track, needs to keep moving. Kathleen really didn't pull on the reins anywhere, covered a lot of ground. Good shot. I don't know if he's quite on it. It's quick. This horse not wasting as much time in the air as Kathleen's horse. Gonna have to keep coming through the turn here. He doesn't pull on the reins. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes one to the last and gets her. Look at that, 37.91 into the lead. 0.8 of a second. He didn't necessarily look faster, but this horse not wasting any time in the air. And Bucci taking over the lead, 37.91. Love a jump off like this where they just get faster and faster and faster. Let's see if Chloe can shave some time off of Bucci's new time. And it's Chloe Reed. And crossover 4. We know how fast they can be. We know how careful they are. Can they beat that time? 37.91. And off the right she comes with the super sporty crossover. Can they cross over that finish line faster than Bucci? Nice shot here. Slice across the middle here. Slows up a tiny bit to this vertical. That might cost them a couple of precious seconds. Good shot. Oh, jumps up high. Little leg out. Again, I don't know if this is faster, but it is a beautiful jumping around. Wow, look at that. Unbelievable. She stays out here. Gorgeous jump there at the end. Took a little bit more of the conservative approach, 42.01, so 4 seconds off the pace, but boy, was that a spectacular jumping round. That horse absolutely flying for Chloe Reed and crossover 4. So they'll sit in 5th at the moment. And let's see what Canadian rider Vanessa Mannix and Carmela Z can do. Let's see if they can catch Bucci's time of 37.91. It's the 2011 Zangerside mare, owned and ridden by Vanessa Mannix herself. Rain is unfortunately steadily coming down. It's a soggy day out there. But who's going to take this class? Bucci's in the lead. Can Vanessa catch him? Unfortunately, not the start she would have liked for, but she'll make a little bit of a circle. She was going. I think the horse got real careful in the first round. It jumped an incredible first round, actually one of the most memorable of the class. But just looked like the horse got a little bit careful and is just getting a little sticky. So Vanessa will call it a day with that. And horse jumped beautifully, but just looking a little sticky. Actually, she's not. She's going to keep going. And actually a smart move on her part to keep going. Try to give the horse confidence coming forward. I don't think she's going to jump the double, but was actually a smart move of hers to keep going, jump a couple of those verticals. She knew the next 2 jumps were verticals, and the horse jumped them confidently, so that was a smart move. All right, she will retire, however, and we will move on to USA's Nicholas Della Gioia, 34-year-old rider, and he's sitting on Cornet's Cambridge. Time to beat 37.91, set by Pier Giorgio Bucci of Italy. Can Nick Della Gioia catch him? He's certainly going to try. All right, he's just taking a little pause, and off he goes. He's going to come off the left approach. Other riders have come primarily off of the right. Let's see what he opts to do. Coming off the left, let's see what he does. Gets the 8. A little bit late on the landing side to really get across the middle. But he's still moving, sets it up nice. Stays out. Does the nice 8 into the double. A little bit of a bend in there, so he's already turning back. That was smoothly done. Does the 8 to the last. Good pat the ground. 38.51, 0.6 of a second slower, but he will slot into second at the moment, ahead of Kathleen Driscoll. So Bucci maintains the lead. Nicholas Delajoyo sitting in second now. Kathleen Driscoll in third. But let's see what the young Belgian can do and see if they can catch their European counterpart. It's Emily Conter and Portabella Vidi Frautkorf. Again, time to beat 37.91. Emily jumped a beautiful round on the young 9-year-old in the first round. Let's see what she can do here. Her sister won the class yesterday in the meter 50 speed. Can she take another one for the family? We're going to see in a minute. So she's coming off the right as well. Again, a lot of times riders choosing to come off of the opposite lead of the direction they're going to jump and turn on the backside. Just depends on what you're trying to do. 5, 6, 7, 8. And now she's got to run. Oh, she's on the move. Looking pretty quick. Sits up here nice. Got to keep going. Oh, she really hugged the tree there. This looks on it. She's going to have to keep going. Sets up this. Beautiful. Now she's got to keep going. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does she get him? I think she might. Oh, she doesn't. 38.27 into second place. So 0.3 of a second off the pace. They're getting faster, but still not able to catch Bucci. But she'll go into second. Big smiles there for Emily and the young 9-year-old. Super double clear effort on their part. They should be thrilled with that. All right, let's take a look at our next entry. USA Sloan Coles and Ninja JW van der Moorhoven. Time to beat 37.91. Set by Pier Giorgio Bucci. Can Sloan Coles catch them? This horse can be fast. Just like her mother Gazelle. Can she do it? We know Sloan is fast. Off she goes. She also opts to come off the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think there's a 7 there. Especially because it'll pitch you way out to the wrong direction. Smooth here. Hugs the tree, but then does one more kind of around the turn. Good shot into the double. Really backs up great. Great use of the outside leg, outside hand. She's kicking for it. Oh, she knew she was far off it. She was trying. Horse tried, but unfortunately just didn't quite get there. 38.44 is that time for faults. And into 8th place for Sloan Coles and Ninja. That means Pier Giorgio Bucci still leading, 37.91. And let's see the next entry. Also for the USA, Catherine A. Dynan and Out of the Blue SCF. Oh no, yes, it is. That is Catherine, that is not Lily. All right, let's see what Katie can do on this newer mount of hers. She had a gorgeous first round. Can they catch that time? 37.91. We're going to know in about a minute. Looking like she's also going to come off the right. So, bit split with what people are doing to the first line. Just depends on your horse's stride length, because the 8, although a little bit direct, is not super forward. And you could actually angle it too much if you come off the left and get too tight there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gorgeous jump there. Looking nice and smooth here. Sits up around the corner. Wow, jumping amazing. Taking so much time in the air. I don't know if she's going to catch him just because he's jumping so good. Beautiful shot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Long one to the last. Good effort but 39.01 will put them 1.1 seconds off the differential and into 5th for Katie Dinan and out of the blue, but a beautiful double clear effort. And we're making our way down this list. That means the next one up is gonna be Lily Keenan. Agana Van Het Garandal Z. Can Lily and her super trusty steed, Aggie, can she catch Bucci? 37.91 is that time. Let's see what she can do. Owned by the Chansonet Farm LLC of the Zangerside Stallion. She's coming off the right, and they can be super quick. Let's see what she does. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Easy on the 8. Very quick here. Wow, covering the ground great. Just steadies up at the last second. Good slice across that. Gets here so she can be steadying up to the base. Great effort on Aggie's part. She looks pretty tight here. Oh, she does slow up a tiny bit out of the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And gets the last, and I think she gets it. 37.39 and into the lead for Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Garandal Z. So, well done to Lily. They will take over the leading spot now, 37.39. But we've got a couple more to see. And we know how fast this one can be. It's Michaela Langmeyer and Pepita Vidi Rollebeek. Just 23 years of age, but Michaela can be lightning fast. Can she do it on the Linda Langmeyer entry of Pepita? Off she goes. Just a 9-year-old Belgian-bred mare. Does the 7, so there is a 7 there. Lands a little bit out to the right, but keeps kicking. She's gonna have to be quick. Keeps moving a little bit wider. Has to steady up. Oof. And just not able to steady up enough in order to. She had really opened up the stride with the 7 up the first line. And then she was getting there a little early in that 8 into the double. And Pepita was a little insecure about trying to jump from so deep. So Michaela looking like she will take a courtesy fence and retire within the round. So looking secure, but little pet for the 9-year-old just developing up to this level. All right, that means Lily Keenan still in the lead with Agana. But can Chris Uwanowski and Condor du Valdesi, can they catch them? Couple left to go. Time 37.39 is that time to beat. Let's see if they can chase down Lily's time. Chris Uwanowski and Condor are going to give it a go. It's the Polo Jump LLC entry of the 12-year-old Celle Francais gelding. Jumped a beautiful first round. And let's see. Looking like they're coming off the left. We know there's a 7. I don't think he's setting up for it, however. 5, 6, 7, 8. Quick across here. Slows up a tiny bit, maybe early. Beautiful jump there, but looking slightly more conservative with his approach. Has the top pole of that, actually one of the first rails we've really seen in the course, other than the first. There were a couple others, but looking good. but he does have the one down. Gets a good shot to the last, unfortunately. A little bit on that angle when he took off. Will hook that back pole as well. So 8 faults total for Chris Iwanowski and Condor, time 41.79. That'll put them into 12th at the moment with the 2 down. But that means a couple left to go, and it's going to be Nicolette Hurt and Chatu 7. 25-year-old rider on her longtime partner. Looking like they're coming off the left as well. Or maybe not. Let's see what she's doing. Maybe coming off the right. She faked me out. Chatwood Farms LLC entry by Choco Blue. Let's see what Nikki can do. She opts to come off the right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So she's a little off the pace right to start, but she is on the nice left track. And then just looking like they spooked. Funny, a lot of the horses, they changed that jump up. It had been just a solid wall, and then they changed it up with the poles on top. And it's like the horses are seeing it differently than they did in the first round, especially coming around the blind turn that is the gazebo. They're just not seeing it, or they're seeing it really late. And just looking like Chatu was surprised by it. So she'll circle, come back around. A little bit gappy coming into the double, so has the back pole of that as well. And you can see the clock ticking, picking up a number of time faults. She'll clear that and just take her time to the last. Gets over that, but we'll finish up with 8 jumping, 20 on the clock, 64.36 is that time. And I think we've got one left to challenge the time set by Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Gerendal, 37:39. Can Mexico's Carlos Hank Guerrero catch her? We're going to see. He's sitting on H5, Ganashiro Z. Last one to contest this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, Week 11. Let's see what she can do. Well, I don't know why I said she. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gets the 8. He's on the inside. He's going to have to keep moving. And he does keep moving. Takes the big one across the middle. And now he's going to have to keep going again. Good shot here. Slice. Steadies up right at the end. Clears it. Gets the number there. Turning already, coming out. Gonna have to keep moving. And now they got to move up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 37.76. He'll go into second. So 0.3 seconds slower than Lily, but that means that Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Gerendal will take the win here today. 37.39 was their time. Carlos Hank Guerrero and Ganashiro will end up in second. Pio Giorgio Bucci of Italy and Hantano will end up in third. Emily Conter and Portabella into fourth. Nicholas Della Gioio and Cornets Cambridge in fifth. Sixth to Casaletto and Kathleen Driscoll. Seventh out of the blue SCF and Catherine A. Dinan. Bartolina 2 and Mario Delorier into eighth. Ivory TCS and Niall Nasser into ninth. Our last of our double clears in 10th, crossover 4, and Chloe Reed jumped a beautiful double clear. And that will round out our 10. Sloan Coles with the one down will end up in 11th, and Kendra in 12th. So that's our top 12. But congratulations to Lily Keenan. As you can see, they're setting up for the prize giving, even in the rain here. But Win goes to Lily Keenan for this $62,500 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, Week 11 here. And thanks, of course, to Adequan, American Region Animal Health, maker of Adequan. Polysulfated glycosaminoglycan is proud to sponsor today's class. For over 30 years, Adequan has been trusted by veterinarians, trainers, and horse owners. Visit adequan.com to learn more. And thanks, of course, to Dot Technologies for presenting our live stream all season long here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Dot Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at dottechnologies.com. Today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. They're just getting ready for the prize giving. And it is raining out there, but this was a wonderful class. Of course, set by Andy Christensen. There's our winner. 50 horses contested the original. And our winner is Miss Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Garendal with that winning time of 37.39. And congratulations to them. Absolutely speedy, beating out the Mexican and the Italian men for a female win here in Wellington. So it is week 11 here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Of course, tomorrow night, that meter 50 classic finale coming up under the lights. And of course, on Sunday, the 4-star Grand Prix for IDA development. There you can see our second and third place finishers coming in. Top three in for the prize giving, even in the rain. They're good sports. Third place with that yellow ribbon to Italy's Pia Giorgio Bucci and Huntano. 37.91 was their time. And congratulations to them for their third place finish here in the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Take a picture, a rainy picture, but they got it. And then we'll take a look at our second place finisher. It is Carlos Hank Guerrero and H5 Ganesh Hero Z. Congratulations to them in their second place finish. 37.76. So they were about 0.4 of a second off the pace from the leader. But second place, congratulations there to Carlos and Ganesh Hero. Super round, like I said, Carlos been having an incredible season. Just getting better and better and winning more and more. And then, of course, we're going to have our winner coming on up. Rain is really coming down heavy now. Just soggy and soaking out there. But she went late in the jump off. She saw what she had to do. And winning time, 37.39. Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Garendal Zed. So congratulations to them. I'm sure they're thrilled for their WEF Challenge Cup win. Big smiles from Lily. And they will take their little victory lap. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm Danny Waldman. This has been a presentation of Wellington International at the Winter Equestrian Festival, Week 11 for the $62,500 CSI 4-star Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Congratulations to our winners. And I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for the Meet at 50. Stay dry, everyone, and we'll see you next time.